Welcome to Dice Math 101. Here we look at the basic principles on which we D&D geeks build the nerdy pedantic arguments we so like to engage in. When playing a game that uses dice as a conflict resolution engine, it is useful to know what to expect from a given roll. In probabilistic mathematics, the expected value of an event is a pondered mean of all possible results. Expected values do not care for the actual results of events. Expected values are divorced from any empirical results. They are entirely dependent on constructed models. In this case, our fundamental model is that each side of the die has the same chance of being rolled. Expecting an outcome does not mean each individual roll will result in that outcome. But if you repeat the roll often enough, the outcome will tend toward the expected value. This principle is called tendency towards the mean. To start with simplicity, let's look at the case of a single d4.
A single d4 can result in 1, 2, or 4. So the expected value of 1d4 is going to be 1 times 1 fourth plus 2 times 1 fourth plus 3 times 1 fourth plus 4 times. We have 0.25 plus 0.15 plus 0.75 plus 1.
For single die that are normal die, there's a simple trick that you can use to find the expected value faster. Take the highest value in the die, divide it by 2, and add 0.5 to the result. With a d6, we have a maximum of 6, half to 3, plus half. Now, just to show that both approaches are indeed equivalent, if all you need is getting the result of a single ordinary die, taking the maximum value, halving it, and adding 0.5 works for all of them. But what if you need a bigger dice pool? If you are rolling multiple dice and using the sum as the result, calculating the expected value of the whole dice pool is as easy as adding the expected value of each individual die. One of the most common multiple dice die pool is the 2d6, which is used in the Greatsword and the Maul. Which gives us an expected value of 7. But some dice are liars. They pretend to be an ordinary die, but when you roll a given value, they re-roll themselves. For example, a d-roll that re-rolls on 1. We all love you, halflings. To find its expected value, you could make the whole distribution 3, but that would be inconvenient. A faster way is to view the sequence as a single custom die, replacing the 1 on the d20 with another d20. In our case, the result would be this instead of the regular d20. Since we already know that the expected value of a d20 is 10.5, for the purpose of calculating the expected value of the special d20, we can write it.
We can write it as 10.5, 2, 3, all the way up to 19 and 20.
Now, because this isn't a normal die, we can't use the old trick of cutting the maximal value in half. We actually need to do the math ourselves, which in this case are special d20 that rerolls. On 1, I'm not going to calculate the whole thing, are you crazy? The other most common dice that reroll themselves are a special d6 that rerolls itself on 1 and 2s, and the d12 that also rerolls itself on 1 and 2s. The expected value of this special d6 is 3.75, and the expected value of our special d12 is 6.79. A core mechanic of D&D 5e is advantage, where you roll twice and retain best result. It has common variation, rolling 3 times on super advantage, or retaining the worst result on disadvantage. To find the expected value of advantage, super advantage, and disadvantage rolls, we will need their distribution. There's no shortcut here. Thankfully, AnyDice exists. AnyDice is a website where you can do a lot of cute things with electronic dices. And even better, they have a built-in way to calculate a ponderated arithmetic average. Armed with their respective code, here is the distribution to look at. So the expected value of the advantage roll is 13.82. The expected value of a super advantage roll is 15.49, and the expected value of a disadvantage is 7.17. Today we covered the basics of expected values of single die, cumulative die, rerolling die, and advantage rolls. Here is a full table of all expected values covered in this video. These Dice Math 101 segments are intended as reference material. By establishing a common understanding, they should allow to streamline the more complex and opinionated arguments down the line. But conversation and debate require a community of interlocutors. Help us provide you with better content by spreading our reach. You can do so by subscribing, ringing the bell, leaving a comment, hitting the like button, or sharing our videos. Au revoir!